Allegiance. Mr. Rhodes, lead us to the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right. We have a special recognition and presentation this evening. Brianna Cutright from RCB High School. She's a senior at RCB and has been quite active participant in peer-led initiatives to prevent tobacco use and help peers quit. She was a state ambassador for the RAISE program until cuts to funding led to program's closure. RAISE opened doors for her to get involved in other organizations, such as the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids and the Youth Advisory Board for Catch Your Breath. Brianna was asked to join leading experts in tobacco control and public health for a congressional briefing on July 23rd, 2025. She traveled to our nation's capital for the briefing, followed by a meeting with Senator Capito's office.
I want to recognize Brianna from the board. Congratulations. Cindy, are you willing to say a little bit about what you did?
I would love to.
You got the mic. I asked her mom, and she said, sure, she'll tell us about what she did. That's kind of what I do, so it's perfect. So the floor is yours.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. So yeah, like they said, my name is Brianna Cutright. I'm senior at RCB High School, and I've been involved with RAISE for a long time. But until this summer, this is the first year since 6th grade that I haven't actually been involved in RAISE. Because of state and federal funding cuts, our program had to cease operations as of June 30th. So I was, like I said, I was able to go up to Washington, D.C. this summer, which is an amazing opportunity. I got to go spend the time at prepping and getting ready for all of it. And then I got to go and be on a panel up there. So it was fancy. The table had my name on it and a water for me. It was super fancy. I was like, holy cow, this is real. That's my name, right? But then, so I got up there. I got to speak about what I do, the effects that I see here in Harrison County, and also the effects I see in West Virginia. You guys may know, but West Virginia is has the highest tobacco rate in the whole entire country. So it's something that is super passionate to me, because also my grandfather was a smoker. He smoked his whole life and definitely my whole life. And so when I started to learn more about the dangers and all this stuff, I went to him. I was like, listen, this is really, really bad for you. You should quit. And I was like, please just let it happen. And he actually did it. I say it was long, hard time, but it really wasn't. It took him a couple months and he was able to do it. So I take that story with me everywhere I go. And I say, if he can do it, he was 15 or so when he started, and he was much, much older when he started. When he stopped, I don't know exactly, but and so if he can do it, then I know that anybody can do it, and I know that it's hard, but also there's resources out there for people. Well, there are resources, not as much as we used to have, of course, but and I want to help kids, as we all have seen what happens when all the youth are all of their vapes and their Juuls and e-cigarettes that are video games, and the list goes on. But it's affecting the youth significantly, and if my voice can make a difference to them, then why not say something about it? I'm not a shy person when it comes to this. So I really thank you guys for coming up and letting me do this, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
What an inspiration she is for the kids here in Harrison County, and what a great story you have.
Thank you so much.
And you've got a great teacher, I'm sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think you have your parents here.
Yes.
Yeah. And then Katrina Hamrick was.
She was my advisor when I started RAISE, so she was the one that started it all for me.
That you started. So thank you, Katrina, for coming.
Yeah, you guys can go.
Yep.
You too. Go on.
Come on.
Katrina.
Yes.
Katrina? She is a senior at Robert C. Byrd High School. So, and here's your certificate. It's from the board, and it just says Harrison County Schools proudly presents Brianna Cutright senior at Robert C. Burke High School in recognition of her outstanding leadership and advocacy in youth-led tobacco prevention initiatives. Presented by the board members and on the September 2nd, 2025.
Awesome, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Yes, good to meet you as well. Catch her on the football field, she's field commander as well.
Oh, she's the field commander.
Oh, wow.
That's a big deal.
Thank you. All right, do we have any delegations this evening? No delegations? All right, takes us down to superintendent's update. Superintendent Sutton.
They want
If you want to leave, feel free, but you can also stay.
Don't feel guilty. Yeah.
Thank you all.
Thank you so much. You can watch the video later.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is. I have a few things for an update. I wanted to, and I wasn't sure either, John Miller was a friend of the school system, did a lot of, stories for us and covered us, so I just wanted to recognize him, for the stories. And of course, we have Jake here representing West Virginia Media, and he'll be with us, helping us cover the story. So anyway, we have a lot of training still happening. We rolled out Leave Us, the new grade book. So I'm sure I'll hear a little bit more about it, but we're trying to offer more trainings during the lunch hours. So folks can log on and get more trainings. We did some prior to school starting. We had great attendance and had some virtual trainings then, and there's some more coming up, and we're trying to hit those lunchtime. So if folks want to get on now that they're getting in there and putting grades in, that's when you have your questions, when you start using something. So it's like anything, it's a change. It's like when we rolled out mock grades, we're working through it.
So how do the parents
There
get
is
to view?
There is a parent login,
Okay.
and they have to have up-to-date emails. That's going to be the kind of the issue. Whatever email they have sent to the school, they have to make sure that's what's in the system. So, and sometimes they provide us with multiple emails. So we're trying to get the information out to make sure you put that same email in to use stuff. And I believe that's kind of being built by Vivas. The parent piece is being built.
Oh, still being, so they can't
Yeah.
access yet?
Oh, no, you can get in. We've tested it. Anybody that had a child up here, they log in, see if you can get in. But there's still pieces of it I think they're working on. It's not going to be as smooth as libraries because we were just so used to that.
Does it have the piece where it describes what the actual item was on, whether it was a
Like a
homework
detailed
assignment?
assignment, yes,
It
there is.
does have that?
yes.
Okay.
There was a question about that. There's two different tabs, and there's one you can check on as a detailed assignment. So it's just going to be getting in there and playing with it, using it. So, but anyways, we're rolling out more trainings for that. Hopefully, some of our tech trainings, we talked about that in each of the schools, that we can get out and do some more in-person training. Once school starts, things will start rolling.
Oh, I know.
Everybody's catching up and trying to work through it. Speaking of school starting, I checked the enrollment numbers today. Now, this is not certified. This is just what I'm seeing in Vivas. It's people are enrolling and moving around. We have 9,025. Last year, we certified at month 2 with 9,355. So we're looking at another 300 plus loss. There's still some factors possibly in that. People are moving back and we just haven't picked them up yet. Homeschool numbers is 780. So they just now, that number was kind of inflated because they graduated the seniors off of that. So that's the true number as of today, 780, and our hope number is 656. So 1,436 kids going alternative types of education other than our public schools. Liberty's enrollment, Liberty Middle. I know when we were looking at all these consolidations, we were looking at numbers around 900, 950. 762 is our number at Liberty, so it's a manageable number with, I think, the staffing that they have. And this RCB is at 966. And we've had some movement a little bit between Lincoln and RCB, back and forth, and then our elementary school is 221. But of course, that's just the Northview population of Lincoln sitting at 221. So, speaking of the new schools, I've been out visiting. I did get to visit the Bridgeport feeder areas and watched. I was in all those schools, so it's always exciting because I was out the first week for those buildings, and then I've been to the new consolidated schools. And the feel, it's just really open smoothly. I know they're working through things, and the kids, I've talked to some of the students when they came in. Mainly at Bird, it's the Liberty kids trying to figure out where they're at. And I do believe that staggering that and having one grade come in at a time was helpful for them, because they got a day to learn that building.
And I think they had tour guides arranged too,
Yes,
to help.
yeah. So I think it's just, that's the changes, learning the buildings. I think that the staffs, have meshed well. And I think it's a lot of just planning and pre-planning, but of course there's things we probably don't even know yet that's going to happen, maybe with schedules and things, but I was pleased with how they opened. We're working through some busing issues with the kids from certain areas getting bused to the new consolidated schools. That's hard to change those once school starts, but we're tweaking the problems that we're finding with busing. But as far as just the opening in general, I'm just really pleased with the way the schools have opened, and our staff always step up and they get the schools open, and things are, now we're in our second week or third week, and everybody always needs that holiday. They really do. By the time you open and then you have that holiday, they need it to reset and come back in. I think the kids do too, because get back in schedule. But just real pleased with the way we started. We're just working through everything every day. I'm still dealing with some students with the vaccine concerns. I know that the state has issued some of their medical exemptions already. We're getting those back quickly, and we're waiting to see how the courts rule for that. But that's been a lot in the last, we've had pre-K and kindergarten, that's your fault with new kids coming in. So we're trying to work individually with those families. Nurses, it's a blessing in this county to have nurses in schools. I don't know that every county has that, and having a nursing coordinator at the county level to kind of just oversee that. So I only have her coming to me and we can work through things, and then she can get back to the nurses with what's going on. Opening a school with, that's one of the busy areas, is making sure medications and all that stuff is taken care of. Kids have their medicines and all that. It's a big undertaking. But we're really blessed in this county to have LPNs and nurses and everything. Facilities, we've got still a lot going on. Simpson, you want to talk about that a little bit? You've been able to get to some of
It
the.
seems to be moving along quite nicely right now, with all the concern walls and stuff like that. I'm not too concerned about their schedule. We had a meeting with Lombardi last week, and I cautioned them about time on projects that we want to try and minimize that as much as possible. And there's a reason why they're there, because of what they do. So hopefully they'll stay on schedule and get that done. About their elementary, all I can really say is going to be done when it gets done. I wish I'd been here earlier. They don't push that job along all summer. They're getting close, but they're not quite there. There's some commissioning and stuff that needs to be done once they're done with the HCS system, just to make sure everything's right when we get that final punch. But we're real close. I'd say by the end of this week, we got to be almost at the point where we're done with the work. The rest of the facility facilities, seems to be going well. We've got a lot of old buildings, we've got some old equipment. All of some initiatives over in my mind, to deal with those. Those will probably actually come out in the form of a goal for you, Laura, from me, for this year. So we'll look at some of those issues as well. But all people seem to be staying pretty busy. It's been a challenge, for sure. I really enjoyed it. I love it. I love dealing with the challenges, being respectful and solving problems. So we're getting there.
Thank you. It has been a busy one. For sure. That's really all I have. Updates. We haven't had a meeting.
What was it for high school tomorrow? You guys start.
I only wrote down the ones that, did you bring those? I think it's 770. Wait, hang on. Let me. 770 is what I have written down. It may be fluctuating a little bit.
About Lincoln.
770. 554. Was it, did you have higher than that?
Higher than 567.
Yeah.
South Harrison.
South Harrison High School, I have 347. This was right when school started. 347. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we still have movement. Sometimes it's 3 or 4 different ones.
Are there any rules about when they can move, or can they move whenever they want?
Just whenever they want to go.
I hope they are being advised that
Just
based
stay
upon
for
their,
the semester.
well, depends, but based on their schedule, like Lincoln has alternating days. So if they don't move till the midterm, before second semester, they're only getting half credits for their coursework first semester. Whereas if they're block scheduling, like, I don't know which school is,
South Harrison, Bridgeport.
and
I
I don't
think the
know.
ones we're processing are out of county.
Yeah, and then the ones
Handful.
that moved this time.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're not huge numbers, but we were having lots of kids.
Yeah.
Then we had some that wanted to go to Lincoln and then they decided they wanted to go back to Bird. We've tried to accommodate those.
you're gonna have to watch Bird real well, depending on what classes they have. Because I don't know what their schedule looks like, but I know it's a mixture of a little bit of everything, so.
Yeah, they have 90s, 49.
Yeah, based on their schedule would determine when they move, I would think. And I hate for kids at the high school level to move with a half credit.
Definitely harder at the high
Well,
school
sometimes they will
level.
take the whole course over,
Yeah.
even if they've got the first half, you have no
Yeah.
choice.
And they've lost a half credit.
What about personnel? When does it come to the point that they don't move?
Oh,
Early.
we've already done that cutoff, but it's the last, yes. And I do believe sometimes we're allowing the principals, if it's a position that they feel they can go, some of them are not allowing them to leave. I mean, that's just what we've always kind of done.
Yeah, it's an administrative decision, because some might be able to find a certified replacement, some might not, and it all depends on the situation.
And what the job is, if they can get somebody.
So there really isn't a cutoff.
There is for just the bulk. Like normally, when we have a posting, they all move. That's passed. Now it's just individual situation.
Actually, this is good, but it's depends on that you do.
I just think it makes it difficult on students. They get locked in with a teacher and then all of a sudden another job.
We've done it both ways. We
Yeah.
stopped it once before and then, but we allowed the principals to be professionals and if they can make that situation or, they know their buildings and what their classroom needs are.
And
We've
sometimes
allowed
they'll
them
allow
to-
you to move once there's a replacement.
Or at the semester.
Or the semester.
Sometimes if we have a teacher that's leaving, going to another county, they'll just resign. We don't even always know they've been hired somewhere else. They'll just resign and then we hear that they've taken a job somewhere else. It's a lot different than before. There's a lot of available jobs. So that makes a difference.
What makes it more difficult is on the students, on the faculty. It has nothing to do with county office, has nothing to do with administrators. It has to do with legislators that came up with this. They had no idea, obviously, what they were dealing with.
Correct.
That's it right there. So folks need to understand that.
And then you start the year with the staff, and you think you've trained them all, and then we get, shuffled.
Yes.
And you've got new people that'll move in.
How many full-time subs do you have this
I
year?
don't have here.
Okay.
Yeah, we just updated, we just updated that substitute list and sent that to the administrators while a week, right, close to when school starts.
And as we hire,
Rebecca's
and,
taking care of that.
yeah, so I try and keep that updated, after each board meeting, when we hire new or those who resign as well. So I know that, this week I am going to be interviewing for new applicants for substitute teaching. So some professional that have the certification and some that would be West Virginia learners.
It's interesting how quickly there's not like new students getting out of college and then waiting on the sub list.
Not anymore.
It doesn't build your sub list. What builds our sub list are the ones that retired, and of course now there's a wait. We have a few that can come back to work here
60 days?
in 60 days, and we're hoping. We've got some that won't, they won't go through all that, to reapply, and you can't blame them,
You have to pay for your fingerprints.
background checks. So that's something that, as a group, the superintendents have, we've all written letters and sent that, but I don't know.
I think they're supposed to address that at our conference this weekend too, with us.
I hope so.
I think I read that somewhere.
There's just a lot of challenges, and there's new things, every year, and of course with funding and things being. It's a lot of.
Nice that they listen to educators.
A lot of good things happening. But you can be afraid. You're a good educator. That's all I have.
All right, brings us down to consent items. Consent items are in front of you. Is there a motion to accept consent items as presented?
I so moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. New business, out-of-state travel study request. Is there a motion to accept the out-of-state travel study request?
So moved.
Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Aye.
Yes.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, memorandum of understanding between Community Care and Harrison County Schools, Community Care of West Virginia. Is there a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding between Community Care and Harrison County Schools?
So moved.
It's been moved,
Second.
been seconded. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right. Brings us down to the 2025-2026 authorization of payment for private school employees to federal programs. You have the information in front of you. Is there a motion to accept the payment of private school staff for attendance and application for degree upon professional development?
I so moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Can you explain this, Noah?
I'll answer that. With the equitable, let me start off. Good news is we got an approved application with funding for that. And so part of the equitable allocations to private schools, we have to give out their portion of it. So for us, because they're not our employees, if they do professional development, to pay them a stipend through their equitable portion, we have to have something authorizing us to be allowed to pay for them. So it's part of our annual thing. They give us a list of who their employees are that might be attending that professional development and receiving a stipend. And so we give them the contract. We have all the financial stuff that finance department needs to be able to do that. So this is the authorization for us to pay them a stipend for professional development.
Are they just given a flat fee or is it dependent on?
It's the $35 an hour, just like our regular county employees are.
Any other questions? We moved and seconded. Call for the vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Preschool contracts for 2025, 2026 are in front of you. A motion to approve the preschool contract as presented at a cost of $3,250 per student.
I so moved.
It's been moved. Is there a second? Seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Brings us down to preschool collaborative meal contract for 2025 to 2026. We have those in front of you for lasting impressions, approximating $55,080, and Mother Goose Land at $55,080 as well. These are meal contracts, issues of purchase orders. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. If the board has no objection, I would like to take policy updates before superintendent goals and board goals. There's no objection to that? All right, let's take policy updates. For you is policy 5136, personal electronic devices. Is there a motion to approve the creation of policy 5136, personal electronic devices as requested by the superintendent, which also has been out for a public comment period?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion?
On violations portion, it says may result in disciplinary action and or confiscation. Is that gonna happen or is it not gonna happen or? And in order to be consistent across the board. So I'm thinking, yeah, shall.
In the guidelines, does it say shall?
No, it says may.
That's the-
Oh, that's the thing. I
This
don't,
is the actual policy, the guidelines are even stringent. I mean,
more strict, okay, I
More
didn't.
stringent. Does it say shall in that? For the guidelines? Because we shored that up, this is more of a, like in
Overview.
the old policy that they put out for us to adopt. And then our guidelines.
The
I
administrative guidelines.
don't have it with me either. But we can look at that. I mean, that would be, we're really, talking to the principals about making sure that that's enforced. I mean, we're seeing,
But I think, it not just enforced, but I think it needs to be consistent. Whatever Group A does, Group B needs to do too.
Yeah, the first
So if they're
line,
gonna
the
take
first
it,
line
they're gonna
has
take it.
may under violations instead of shall. I mean,
And then
because
it-
even disciplinary action, the first thing could be a warning, it's not necessarily confiscation.
But I think whatever we do, we should do it. Everybody should be doing the same thing. This one.
That started with the problem back whenever the board first approved the fact that you could carry a cell phone, but you couldn't use it. And it was inconsistent across the county.
Oh, yeah.
Just inconsistent.
You know, myself, I think that there ought to be a monthly report given to, the elementary schools and the secondary schools, if this is taking place. Each school, one school might have one, some schools may not have any, some schools may have 10. So that, that gives you a feeling of where violation is.
should be a weakness report.
Yeah.
on that violation.
Your person there.
Yeah, it'd be on the
In
Weebus.
our administrative guidelines, when it comes to the discipline, there are separate, for elementary students and then, the secondary, and it goes through exactly what should be done once the cell phone is confiscated as well. So if it is turned in as a disciplinary offense, there are those guidelines there already set forth as to first offense, this is what happens, second offense, third offense as well. And that's already been established.
I don't think there's a question about anything being established. I think the thing is, it just
The
hasn't been
application.
consistent over
The
the
application.
years.
Right, right.
Every administrator knows what's supposed to be done.
Correct.
And the situation just isn't getting taken care of.
Right.
Consistently.
Pays us up for 3 years, you're absolutely correct.
But I just think it would give us some ideas, just, you know, get the word superintendent's update, how it's going, and I'll just, we had no
Where we
violations.
have the most violations.
I just,
Is that in the way with your?
Mhm.
That's all I had to say.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, this brings us down to, can we take board goals first before we go into superintendent's goals? What do you want to do? I'm just trying to limit the amount in and out. Does anyone have an objection for taking board goals? We can do board goals out here because those are the ideas for the board. But for superintendent's goals, we can have an executive session for superintendent's.
Want to take personnel matters too before we go?
We can. All right, so you want to do board goals first, or you want to do personnel?
No, board, it doesn't matter, board goals is fine.
Let's go with board goals. So we talked about bringing goals to the board. Anyone has some things that they'd like to start out with? They'd like to see goals for us as a board.
Yeah, I wanted a little bit more consistency on visiting of the schools, whether it's us or Mrs. Stutler and her staff.
was this her goal or our goal?
No, this is our goal, our goals board.
More consistency
Yeah, that's
of administration.
And maybe just letting the schools know if they want one of us or to come to a faculty senate meeting or just to let them know. that
Increase
we're willing-
visibility.
Yeah, just to let them know that we'll come visit.
At the same time, I think they need to get used to the fact that if they have a situation, they need to go up to where it needs to come.
Yeah.
If there are two administrators right there, instead of trying to come to us and passing it down. Because that way, these two ladies in particular would be aware of what they need. And don't be afraid to talk to them about it. I mean, that's why they have administrative assistants that come into the school setting. Maybe they just, want to see you all more often. And I know that's easy for us maybe to sit here and say that, but I just know that they'd rather see, I think anyway, those folks than us come into the building. But maybe the ones who want to speak to us are afraid to speak to these two ladies, but at the same time, we just pass it forward. That's what we should be doing.
Yeah.
We can't do anything ourselves for that, but we can pass it forward.
And a lot of people don't realize that. And I've
Exactly.
told them, go through your administrators
Yeah.
and you all, and then if you have to, Mrs. Stutler, but there's steps along the way.
Change.
Yeah, exactly. Consistency of schools, increasing visibility. Anyone else have a board goal?
No, that was part of mine.
It's interesting, because mine was, let's visit schools and have meetings in schools. I know Doug hates that, but I'm not okay with it. It's not something like that. I feel like that would be a good thing for us.
I like it.
What's that?
Visit schools and have our meetings in schools like we had before.
When I was a
School board
teacher, I
effectiveness
liked it
meetings.
when they
Yeah.
came.
We should also find out about more information about school board effectiveness, what role we play in school board effectiveness.
that's part of the conference this weekend too.
Things that are a little more challenging in some of our buildings when we have to, everything's done on video.
We have full trust and confidence in Todd's ability. He's not,
No, he turned his head around and said, I know this is about me now.
Todd and David have traveling stuff to set up. I'm like,
We can do
that was mine too, so I don't know.
it.
And I think that was even part of the survey.
Oh, yeah.
Well, my goal is that we do the work of the board when we come to the meetings, and I don't think it's our job as board members to try and run or to interfere in the superintendent's job, or personnel people's jobs, or, so, her constituents. I think that if it comes to a point that there's a problem, if we have a problem, or there's something that we really, really have a problem with, that we bring it to a meeting here rather than for us to interfere with what's going on in day-to-day
I
operations.
think that's what we just said.
Well, I mean, I just
Or I
don't
did.
think that we can, tell finance how to do their job, or,
I do well to balance my own checkbook. I'm not telling her anything.
well, that's, so many times I think that sometimes we as a board member, and I'm no exception, that we overstepped our bounds as to what our job is as a board member. And I think that if push comes to shove, we could end up as a board, get ourselves some very much hot water by interfering too much. And so,
At the same time, whenever you did mention Mrs. Stutler, though, we are an advisory board to our superintendent. If not, there's no purpose us being here. There really isn't. There isn't a purpose us being on board if we're not the advisory to our superintendent. But as I just said earlier, as an example, folks need to go through the channels, come up and go through the channels. That's not us to go out there and talk to folks and say, hey, you need to do this or that. But we can listen and pass it on.
Yeah,
But we can't solve those problems.
but I've found out anytime we go out into a building, whether we want to or not, whether we want it or not, there's always going to be that teacher coming to you, or people all come to you, and they have an axe to grind. So they think, well, I'll tell this board member will get it straightened out, Well, there's two sides to the story. Well, really, there's three. Their side, the right side, and, the other side, and then what's right. And so I did early on when I was on the board, I went out into schools, and I come to find out that was a constant thing. Oh, well, my principal's not doing this for me, or my principal's not doing that. Like, I'm supposed to, as a board, we're supposed to straighten things. All we can do is, okay, thank you, and move on. So, I've come to a point where, I really don't feel like going out into the schools and to have to hear all these different, because you get a group, they get a group of them that buddy up, and they all, they think, well, this board member will straighten it out. And, and then we hear out there, hey, at our school today, so-and-so from the Board of Education, one of the board members showed up, this board member showed up, or whatever. So I just got a feeling that unless I get invited there for a certain thing, I'm not going to go in interfere.
but it's in the policy, if we get a complaint, we're to tell Mrs. Stutler, and then she does whatever, sends that off to whoever. But I had 2 incidences this weekend, and I referred them to Mrs. Leesburg and Mr. toxic. Because they both had concerns that I have no control over. So,
Well,
but it was in the survey, they wanted to see faces. So,
Mine was talking about the entire board. Everything out of it, like we used to do.
Right.
And inside of those, kind of general auditorium, something like that.
Yeah.
That was an option there. I know that that's been well received in the past, and I think that could fill for us.
mhm.
So, any other ideas or thoughts? Okay. All right, well, we can leave that for, maybe we can ask the superintendent to, well, I guess we can vote on our goals at the next meeting, if you'd like. Put them together and bring one next.
I'll say you put it together.
All right, so we'll run down to,
Personnel?
I thought you had something to say.
No.
Okay. We'll run down to personnel,
So far. Oh, yeah.
three, I had three. Consistency of visiting schools, increasing stability, involved in school board effectiveness, that brought up. And have meetings in school, well, yes, so I guess there are two.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll, after this weekend,
Yeah, we can work on it this weekend.
see what they have.
Yeah, just let me know.
If you, even if you go out to a sporting event, you get bombarded by,
That's part of you being.
That's part of your job.
That's part of you being the celebrity.
well, that's true. That's true. I've always had that problem.
So it's going to continue.
All right,
Except when you lose, then you're a little bit.
okay, so let's go down to personnel. Is there a motion to approve personnel matters as presented by the superintendent?
And so moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
I need to recuse myself, for Lauren, schooling, at Bridgeport, middle school, I believe is resigning her position. So,
So make note to, Mr. Hope, or to, obviously, until his motion to include Mr. Hope's recusal. All right, is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Now we'll take superintendent goals, personnel motion.
I move pursuant to 69842 of West Virginia Code that the board go into executive session to discuss personnel matters which, if discussed in public, might affect adversely the reputation of any person.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We're in executive session. All right,
Executive session,
So moved.
Second?
it's been moved and seconded, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Back in regular session. From an update standpoint, we're going to put together the superintendent's goals. We will compile them together, place them on the next agenda for a vote. So no action will be taken tonight. All right, brings us down to board member comments. Mr. Doctor.
It appears that everything's running smoothly with the folks that have joined together into different schools. It's great news. And it's moving along smooth. So glad to hear that.
Mr. Joe?
I've heard that our new general supervisor, or whatever, is doing an excellent job, getting out, meeting a lot of people, and they're really surprised, they're nice. Very pleased to meet him and what have you, and, you know, even the comments of people being out into the schools and visiting and everything. So it's a positive start, and, like I said, anyway, it sounds like we have to go after the school year hard and heavy. We'll all get there.
Yeah, I was able to visit Liberty High School. My niece was donating the guitar to the music program, and one of the teachers just wanted to show me around, and kudos to the maintenance and workers that did that building. I've never seen it look so bright. It looked so good. Very positive comments from RCB adults and children and from Liberty Middle.
Okay, he's fine.
I have no further comments. This brings us down to the adjournment. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Moved and seconded, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Children of peace, go in peace.